won 6 of the last 8 and are showing signs of living up to preseason expectations. And today, they're back to work, hoping that will continue as Jeff Samardzija and the Sox look to take 3 or 4 from these dangerous Toronto Blue Jays. We are coming to you from the city beautiful, Chicago, Illinois, where this afternoon Comcast Sportsnet presents White Sox baseball. As Jose Abreu, Avi Garcia, Melky Cabrera, and the Sox as they get set to butt heads with Josh Donaldson and John Gibbons' tough Toronto Blue Jays. Hi, everybody, and welcome. I'm Ken Harrelson with Steve Stone as we get set to bring you the finale of this 4-game set. As you know, we've taken 2 of the first 3. We won the opener 4-2. Chris Sale over Mark Burley. Great ball game. We lost game 2, 2-1. Once again, Jose Quintana, just absolutely perfect, and we lose it 2-1. Then last night in 11 innings, the home run, as you just saw, by Adam Eaton. So it's been a fun series, and it's great to see our lineup lighting up that scoreboard for a change.
For 24 straight games here at beautiful U.S. Cellular Field, this team couldn't score more than 4 runs. That's why last night was so special. Melky Cabrera comes up, hits a sacrifice fly. This was in the middle of a 3-run inning. Adam LaRoche takes it down the line. He drives in 2, and at that point it looked like it was going to be all Sox. But they fell behind. Carlos Sanchez comes up with a big base hit. Adam Eaton ties it up with an infield hit. But that was nothing compared to later. The walk-off bomb. Adam Eaton hitting his 6th home run of the year sent the fans into delirium and sent the Sox to 8-2 in extra innings. And there you see what they've done so far. Abreu on a 10-game hitting streak. Melky on a 7-game hitting streak. Alexei on a 7-game hitting streak. And Avi is hitting everything in sight. So when you take a look at the offense now, it's certainly supporting the pitching staff, and hopefully that continues.
Well, we've got a knuckleballer out there today, and usually as a rule, if they're throwing strikes, it's tough to beat. But R.A. Dickey's had a tough time outside of Toronto.
He's 0-6 away from home. However, in this ballpark, he's been a disaster. He's pitched 12 innings in this ballpark, giving up 18 runs. Overall, against our Sox, his ERA is up close to 9. For whatever reason, he can't beat the Sox, and hopefully that continues. But you see, away from Toronto, for whatever reason, R.A. Dickey cannot make that knuckleball work. On the other side of the equation, Jeff Samardzija throwing it real well. Last 6 times out, he's gone at least 7 innings. That helps save the bullpen. Last time out against the Orioles, he was pretty special. 9 strikeouts, a couple of walks. Hopefully Jeff can keep it going, and the Sox can win the finale of this homestand. Right now, they're starting to play pretty good baseball.
Well, after the break, Steve and I have some exciting news coming your way. So sit back, relax, and strap it down. White Sox baseball coming your way. Stone, or follow us at Hawk Harrelson. We're going to do it.
I think it's going to be a whole lot of fun. This way, you, the fan, are going to be able to talk to either Hawk or me and ask us any questions you want. And during the course of the game, we'll pick out a few. We'll let you know what we feel about the answer. We're going to tell you some pretty good answers depending on how good your questions are going to be, and I'm looking forward to it.
I only want to know one thing. Can you cuss on Twitter?
I don't believe so.
Well, we'll see about that. Meanwhile, lineups are just around the corner. For us, it'll be Jeff Samardzija on the bump. And for them, R.A. Dickey, the knuckleballer.
Baseball on Comcast Sportsnet is brought to you in part by your Chicago area and Northwest Indiana Lexus dealer, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Illinois, through it all. Audi, truth in engineering. Xfinity, your home for the most live sports. And by Toyota. See where Toyota takes you. Test drive one at your Toyota dealer. Toyota, let's go places.
You're taking a look at the Sox Social Lounge located behind Section 154 here at U.S. Cellular Field. Fans can connect with the team like never before. And welcome back to beautiful U.S. Cellular Field. It's 70 degrees at game time, and let's take a look at how John Gibbons is going to line up his Toronto Blue Jays. Devin Travis leading it off with Josh Donaldson in the two spot. He's been a one-man gang against our Sox. Jose Bautista, Justin Smoke, Russell Martin behind the plate with Deanna Navarro as the DH. Kevin Pillar, Ezekiel Carrera, and Ryan Goins rounding it out. The defense and how to line up behind Jeff Samardzija. Melky Cabrera, Adam Eaton, and Avisail Garcia in the outfield with Connor Gillespie, Gordon Beckham, Carlos Sanchez, and Adam LaRoche in the infield. Giovanni Soto gets a nod behind the plate, and our Lexus Pursuing Perfection starting pitcher is Jeff Samardzija. Jeff has been hot lately. This is his 18th start. He's 5-4. His ERA has been coming down. It's 4.33. 97 strikeouts and 116 in the third innings. He's gotten the ball over the plate, just 22 walks. The umpires for the game this afternoon: Chad Fairchild behind the plate, Sam Holbrook is at first, the crew chief Greg Gibson is at second, and Marvin Hudson is at third. So I'm pretty sure Robin likes what he's seen of this ball club recently. They're starting to play a little more consistent baseball, and the fact that they broke a long streak of not being able to score more than 4 runs at home last night would lead you to believe that that victory in dramatic fashion, headed up by Adam Eaton's walk-off home run, might catapult this team to some good things. John Gibbons wondering where he can get some pitching because they got all the offense he wants. There you look at the 8th season, the second time around for John Gibbons. So they've thrown the ball around the infield, and that means that we're ready to play baseball. And I'm ready to throw it to my play-by-play partner and Twitter par excellence, Ken Harrelson.
You know what hurts?
Well,
Okay.
I get a feeling after this day, you're going to like this so much, you're going to get 3 or 4 different phones to tweak.
First pitch of the ball game is a strike to Devon Travis. Travis hitting at .291, 7 homers and 31 knocked in, 2 for 10 in this series. Blue Jays come in hitting at .265 as a club with a 4.18 ERA. And very quickly, the count 0-2.
And we don't know yet exactly what the attendance is, but I will tell you it is swollen by a number of scouts watching the man on the mound right now, the guy that you're looking at home, number 29, Jeff Samardzija.
He gone. 1 out.
If Jeff gets ahead, he can do that a lot. That Menard's pitch tracks shows you a splitter out of the zone. Travis, very anxious, can't catch up to it.
So here is Donaldson. Josh at .302, 21 homers, 60 knocked in. He's 5 for 10 in this series. And this year, this is the 7th and final meeting of the year between these two teams. In the first 6, we have split them. But this year against us, Donaldson has faced us going to that plate 21 times. He has 12 hits. And of the 12 hits, 3 of them are singles. 3 of them are doubles. And 6 of them are home runs. He's driven in 11. And he has scored 12. 1-1 the count. Now that's what you call a butt kicking right there.
He's been awfully good, and he's been awfully good to all corners of the ballpark.
And awfully good with that leather. 1-2. You see him going to try to get his thoughts together now after waving at that one. Outfield straight up. It's up high at 92. Bautista on deck. He's got a terrific approach at the plate. He's got a plan. He's not worried about where his hands are, where his feet are. You do that, and you're probably going to go 0 for 4. Full count.
Samardzija has gone at least 7 innings in each of his last 6 games. That type of durability really helps a bullpen especially, but helps a manager try to position those guys to bring him in late, knowing that Jeff's going to get the game late.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did. 2 down.
He appealed to Sam Holbrook, and he's looking at this, the fact that Donaldson went around too far.
So here's Bautista hitting at .238, 17 homers, 59 knocked in. Takes it just off the outside corner. Bautista 1 for 13 in this series. And he has seen Samardzija 7 times. He has 1 hit. And he's got a count 2-0. And here at the ballpark, 330 down the left field line, 335 down the right field line, 375 in the gaps, and 400 straightaway center.
Top of the 9th inning last night, he hit a rocket right back at Zach Duke, who turned it into a double play. If that one gets by, could have turned that game around. Might not have been an extra inning.
And the count's 3-0.
Batting average is very un-Bautista-like in the high 230s. he's had some arm problems, right shoulder difficulties that he's just now trying to get over.
There's one. There's two.
I like the fact that Jeff took a little something off on 3-1. He completely fooled Batista, who was hoping that it was out of the zone, and it wasn't.
He gone. Strikes out the side. We'll go to the bottom of the first. No score.
Illinois. Let's take a look at how Robin is going to line up our Sox. That young lady is very interested. Adam Eaton leading it off. He was a hero of last night. Jose Abreu, the DH. And it's Melky Cabrera, Adam LaRoche, Avisail Garcia, Connor Gillespie, Giovanni Soto, Carlos Sanchez, and Gordon Beckham rounding it out. The defense and how they'll line up behind R.A. Dickey. It's Carrera, Pilar, and Bautista in the outfield with Donaldson, Goins, Travis, and Smoke in the infield. Russell Martin gets a nod behind the plate. And the Lexus pursuing perfection starting pitcher is R.A. Dickey. On for his 18th start, he's 3-9, his ERA up over 5. He's been dismal on the road at 0-6. And against our Sox lifetime, he has been pretty much battered.
And before we show you our picks to click, you at home select yours. Here's Adam. Takes first pitch strike.
That would be one of the few fastballs he's going to see.
The fastball is 83. Adam hitting at 250, 6 homers, 17 knocked in. 5 for 12 in this series. And 0 for 2 lifetime off R.A. Dickey. Sox come in hitting at 244 as a club with a 4.04 ERA.
Interesting to see how Russell Martin handles R.A. Dickey. He doesn't particularly like to catch knuckleballers. I'm not sure how many catchers do, but he's a hard man to handle.
Shanks that one.
Josh Tolley was the guy that caught R.A. Dickey each and every time, but when they got Deanna Navarro, they had to let a catcher go, and that catcher was Tolley, so now it falls to Martin to catch Dickey.
2 balls, 2 strikes.
That catcher's glove is very similar to a first baseman's glove, but you have to use it.
And another souvenir.
Any catcher that catches a knuckleball will tell you that you have to take your defensive stats, throw them out the window, because you are going to get numerous pass balls.
And that is popped up left side. Donaldson. All right now let's check out our pitch and click. Jumanji, our director and recruit. Yeah, they went with Soto. Steve's going with Sanchez and Terry Hanley, Mike Spadali, Eric Aldridge, Roger Clare, Mike Williams, and I. We're going to go with Gordon Beckham. And we just made our picks. Now, what's yours? Visit CSN Chicago's Facebook page and leave a comment with your pick to click. That's CSN Chicago's Facebook page. Strike to Abreu. They hitting at .294, 14 homers and 45 knocked in. 4 for 13 in this series and lights out against R.A. Dickey. As he goes down, Jose is 3 for 7 now, and 3 hits, all of them left the ballpark.
You just hope to go up there and get a knuckleball that's tumbling. And knuckleball pitchers will tell you it's not like curveball pitchers. They would prefer the wind blowing in their face because that wind is going to grab the seams and make it move a lot more than it usually does. That's one of the reasons why Dickey has not pitched particularly well in this ballpark. The wind doesn't affect the pitcher very much.
Melky takes first pitch strike. Melky at .263, 3 homers, 33 knocked in. Well, there's so many theories about how to go about hitting a knuckleballer. Move up in the box. Can't forget it, he says. So that'd be 4, 6, 3, and a 1-2-3 inning.
CSNChicago.com, and Dan, I know you want to talk about some rehabbing pitchers.
Well, you know, Steve, the big news, though, some might argue that you and Hawk joining Twitter, that's the big news today. But actually, it's all about Nate Jones, and Nate Jones, we've been keeping his progress from rehab, Tommy John surgery over these last few months. And today, he's actually headed out on a rehab assignment to Winston-Salem, single A, and he's very familiar with that. But he's pretty excited about it. He threw a simulated game earlier this week, and the White Sox were very excited. They did say it's not going to be something that they rush him. They've been very methodical all along. We're at 49 weeks right now since he underwent Tommy John surgery, but it's because of Matt Albers, who's 7 innings into his rehab stint at Charlotte, and you've seen what Dan Jennings and other guys are back healthy, Zach Putnam and Petrichka have done well, that they can afford to take their time with Nate Jones. But the reports have been great. Last month he threw a simulated game, was throwing 96 to 98 miles an hour.
That ball deep in the left field. We got a man there.
You also have some news on Jesse Crane, who, when healthy, is still awfully good.
Yeah, and Jesse Crane the last few weeks has been throwing in Arizona Rookie League. And he had a first rough game, gave up 4 earned runs in that, but since then he's had 5 games, 8 strikeouts, 5 innings. Coop did say it's all simulated games, and when he takes the next step to a different level than Arizona, that's when he kind of joins the real world of rehab. But they're very excited about that progress, too.
Well, Dan, thank you. It's always good to hear about guys that can help the ball club and guys that are just now coming back, especially the guys who've been injured, and the fact that they're starting to get ready to help the Major League team.
Absolutely. And, hey, if you guys need a Twitter tutorial, we'll work at it on the road next time.
Thank you. CSN's Dan Hayes.
I definitely will. I know that. All right. 21 to count. To Russell Martin. Hitting at 250, 12 homers, and 39 knocked in. Outfield, sending him to the right. This decade's version of Thurman Munson, Russell Martin. One back to the middle. Can he get him? Yes. Nice pick. Nice play. 2 down.
We've seen Carlos Sanchez do this a lot, ranging on the third base side of second. This high hopper up the middle. He's able to get enough on it with the jump pass so that Adam LaRoche, former Gold Glove winner, able to pick it, and they get him at first. 5 up, 5 down. That was an exceptional play.
So here's Deanna. Navarro, the DH, hitting at 235. A couple of homers and 11 knocked in. But he hits well against us. Plays well against us. And that 95, a little too much for him right there.
Navarro, 188 hitter right-handed, but turn him around to the left side. He's hitting 246. Both of his home runs and all of his runs batted in have come as a left-hand hitter, and that's how he looks out at Jeff Samardzija.
Nice pitch. Right underneath his hands. And a very quick 1-2-3 for Samardzija. Answers on throughout today's broadcast, according to the game, of course. And the first one comes from A.F. Scotia. Says, Hawk, what is your favorite he gone moment? Well, I can tell you it's been current, so to speak, for the most part. I think it was when Chris Sale, for the eighth straight start, his 10th strikeout.
That was against Johnny Peralta.
That was, to me, very, very emotional because of the kind of person Chris Sale is. It's like Burley's no-hitter and his perfect game because of the kind of person Mark Burley is. And those things mean a lot to me. Bo Jackson's home run when he came back. But I think that probably, Scotia, was my latest favorite he-gone moment. Johnny Peralta going down for the 10th strikeout. Here is Adam at 229, 9 homers, 33 knocked in. 4 for 19 lifetime with a homer against R.A. I think we're going to like this Twitter.
I can imagine
involved.
I can imagine you sitting around on an off day, having a glass of milk,
What?
peanut butter and jelly sandwich,
What?
and pulling out your phone and just starting to tweet. Tweet seemingly for hours.
Well, if I do, I'll probably get fired the next day. Because it won't be milk.
And it won't be
It
peanut
won't be
butter
a
and jelly.
peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Here's the 1-2. Got him. Well, the thing that I think, and we've talked about it in the past, and the reason I haven't done it because I just didn't know the mechanics of it, so to speak. I didn't know how it worked. And a lot of people explained it to me lately. And it definitely is a better connection with the fans. There's no question about that. And when you can connect with the fans, I think they enjoy it more. I know I will. I know you will. And to me, it just seems like a win-win, as Avi can't get it. And there are our Twitter handles. Steve at Steve Stone, Hawk at Hawk Harrelson. That's out to play right side.
Well, one of the aspects of it that is really good for the perpetuation of the game of baseball is it's mostly, not all, but younger people. I mean, look, it's easy. As far as younger people to you and I, that's just about everybody in the country. But younger people involved in Twitter, you want to get them connected to the game of baseball because that's how the game perpetuates itself. Engage the younger people.
That's popped up right side. Well, that's connection. There, he misplayed that ball. He's normally a very good first baseman. He just drifted with air. You got to get over there, and then, if anything, come back to it. Yeah, the connection is much better, and it's the way of the future, in my opinion, in broadcasting.
And also, it'll get the people who are tweeting, especially during the game, more involved in the game because you have to pay attention because that's where the questions will come from.
There's another souvenir right side. Well, my mom, as you mentioned, you alluded to, my mom taught me to respect your elders. And with each and every passing year, I just can't find them.
Unfortunately, they're going. They're going quickly.
2-2.
And I hope we're both able to say that 30 years from now.
That's a little too long. A little too long. Donaldson, that ball had a ton of topspin on it.
Your local Ford stores are proud to present the 2005 World Series Reunion Weekend, July 17th through the 19th. Be sure to arrive early on Saturday, July 18th to see your favorite players from the 2005 World Series Championships parade around the field. It's presented by your local Ford stores. Together, we'll go further. Purchase tickets today by visiting whitesox.com/promos.
Here's Gillespie at 243, 3 homers, 15 knocked in. He's faced R.A. 5 times. He's 0 for 5, and he takes first pitch strike. As we mentioned at the top, knuckleballers, as a rule, if they get in that rhythm and they're throwing strikes and they have confidence in the control, they're usually very tough to beat.
Well, the one thing that Dickey is doing today so far, and I'm not sure how long he's going to keep this up because he's only faced 5 hitters, but he's actually throwing a fastball to get ahead. If the hitters can pick that up, they look first ball fastball, then he's not difficult to hit because it's 83, 84 miles an hour.
Well, that is 6 up, 6 down for Samardzija. 6 up, 6 down for Dickey.
His first tweet. Tell us using hashtag SoxSocial.
Top of the third inning. Pilar, Carrera, and Goins. First pitch strike. Final game of the year with this ball club. 7th game. First 6 we have split them. Be it known that you'd be hard pressed to find a more dangerous offensive team than the Toronto Blue Jays. And again, that does not mean they're the best hitting club. It just means they're the most dangerous.
They have power up and down through this order. They have some guys who can run. One of those guys who can run is Pilar. Good reason to keep him off base. He's one of their premier base stealers. They don't have a whole lot of them, but he's right at the top.
Well, they're leading everybody in baseball in runs scored. They scored almost 200 more than we have. And that's not in franchise history. That's this year.
Josh Donaldson with 21 home runs, 60 driven in.
You got a cookie right there, and he's hot in himself as he should be. Got a cookie and missed it.
Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in the game, brought to you by Miller Lite.
Blue Jays has scored 470 runs this year. We have scored 283. Two down. Carrera is gone.
What you really love to see is those little guys that are not going to hit home runs. You love to see him pulling the outside pitch. That's what Carrera did. That ball was a good 3 inches off the outside corner. If you go out there, turn the head of the bat over and pull that pitch, you're going to ground to the right side a whole lot if you're a left-hand hitter.
In the National League, no team, with the exception, no team, period, has scored 400 runs. Top team with 385. runs. That's vulgar. 470 runs.
Well, Toronto's going to be right in the middle, if not at the top of the market in trying to acquire at least one, maybe more starting pitchers, depending on how much they have in their system, because they can really hit the ball, and they're one game over 500. 2.5 games in back of the Yankees. Here's one of the reasons why this is going to be a great seller's market. When you just look at one division, the AL East, the Orioles and Jays 2.5 games back, the Rays 3.5 back. They've been fading recently, and the Red Sox have been coming on strong. They're only 5 games back. So with everybody in the race, everybody's going to be looking to fill some holes.
Well, this is probably the strongest seller's market I have ever seen, and that's because of Bud Selig, the parody that his system created. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Ryan Goins. It's full. Outfield well around to the left. About equal distance. And there's the first base runner of the ball game, going to the 9th place hitter. And here's Devin Travis, struck out, leading off the ball game.
Travis, not a big guy, but a very strong guy.
High pop up. Carlos makes the call, has the ball, and that'll retire the side. We go to the bottom of the 3rd, still no score.
Tweets and pictures with us. Your tweets may be shown on today's telecast. Who is that young guy?
I don't remember. I bought one of every color that they made. That's Nehru suits, and that's the only one I got a chance to wear before they went out of style.
But I got to believe you still have them somewhere.
No.
Are you sure? Because they might be coming back.
I bought like 6 or 7 of them. So here's Giovanni Soto, hitting a .222, 4 homers. He's driven in 13. We're still looking for our first base runner.
So far, R.A. Dickey hasn't resembled the guy that's 2-4 with an 8.21 lifetime ERA against our Sox.
You can cancel the postgame show. Mike Leary and the Cruz. Pick the click.
This was a knuckleball that doesn't do much. That one stays inside, and Gio takes it into left field. So the second base runner of the game.
Here's Sanchez. In this series, only 3 for 11, but he has swung the bat well. He has hit 4 line drives right at somebody. A big RBI, 2-out RBI last night in the 6th inning. Kept that inning going. We picked up another one with Adam Eaton's RBI. What a good pass on that one. We're going to have another question for you in a minute. And this was something a lot of people don't really put a lot of stock in, but it's very, very germane to power hitters. Count hangs at 1-2. Big gap out there in right center if Carlos can find it. Got a break there.
There was a break because that was a strike.
Well, sometimes you know yourself. It's tough for a catcher to catch it. It's tough for a hitter to hit it. It's tough for an umpire to call it.
I don't doubt that for a minute. Not an enviable task for Chad Fairchild today.
No. No, they don't mind a guy with a 100-mile fastball. They don't mind a guy with a great slider. They don't mind a guy with a great curveball. They don't like knuckleballers.
No, well, there's a certain amount of predictability with all the pitches you mentioned, and a certain percentage of not being able to guess where the ball's going, ever, with a knuckleball.
I remember hitting against former Sox southpaw Wilbur Wood in the game, and it was a big spot in the game, and it was a big spot in the pennant race in 1967. The White Sox, Red Sox, Twins, and Tigers all within one game of them. And there were a couple guys on, men on first and third, I think, and one out. And Wilbur threw me a knuckleball. I had 2 strikes on me, and it was a strike, and the umpire called it a ball. And immediately he told the catcher, I think it was McNerney or whoever. Anyway, he said, I blew it. Umpires back in those days would do that. They would tell you, I missed it, I blew it, and don't you know, he hung me one the next pitch, and I hurt him with it. But he immediately told the catcher, I blew it.
I don't think you see that too much in this day and age.
You don't. Got him. And here's our next Twitter question, and it comes from David Foss. He says, Steve, this is something, you being a pitcher. Should established power hitters in Major League Baseball participate in the home run derby, or is it better with just younger guys?
I think it's hitter preference. There's some guys that feel that it's going to affect their stroke, especially guys who are sailing along the first part of the year. They've got a stroke that's grooved. They're feeling pretty good about everything. They don't want to get out of their rhythm by trying to hit so many consecutive baseballs out of the ballpark. Some players feel that really affects them. Other players could absolutely care less. Fortunately, we find enough of the guys who understand and feel good about that home run hitting contest because the fans have really gravitated to that. That's one of the fine events in the entire All-Star weekend. And again, there are some guys that feel really good about it. There's a lot of young players who are starting to say, you know what, I don't want to go into it yet, but I will go into it later on.
Well, back in my time frame, there were a lot of home run hitting contests, not just the All-Star game. They would do that as an attraction to have fans come into the ballpark. They'd have cow milking contest, home run hitting contest, catchers throwing to a barrel at second base contest. And I was in a lot of them, and I only lost one. That was at Yankee Stadium. But if I had it to do over again, I would never get into a home run hitting contest. A good example is going to be Josh Donaldson. Here he is. He's got a great approach going for him, swinging the bat terrific. He's going to be in that home run hitting contest. And I remember Frank, the Big Hurt, when they went to Pittsburgh that year at the All-Star game. He asked me before the game, he said, "You think I should be in that home run hitting contest?" And I said, "Hurt, I don't think so." Because that's fouled back, and it's going to be a souvenir. Well, he put on an exhibition there at Old Pirates Stadium. I mean, he was hitting balls close to 500 feet. Came back, and it took him a while before he got back into his rhythm.
It's a completely different swing than you use during the season because you know where the ball's going to be. You bring the guy who's going to throw to you, so you know it's going to be comfortable. And then you swing with everything you have on every swing.
Well, you start putting a lot of lift into the swing. And rack him up. So we get the leadoff single by Soto, and we're into the fourth, still no score. Chicago Fire go head-to-head with the Western Conference leading Seattle Sounders. And coverage begins at 7 right here on Comcast Sportsnet, and the Spanish broadcast will be available on CSN+. Top of the fourth, Donaldson, Bautista, and Smoke. Josh struck out on a 3-2 check swing. Getting back to that David Foss tweet, what happens to a hitter when he gets into a home run hitting contest is your muscle structure changes then from your regular swing, especially if you're going into the contest. You start using different muscles than you would use in your normal swing, and all of a sudden now it breaks the rhythm, it breaks the continuity. Outfield straight up. Well, that's a nice pitch on 2-0. Nice pitch anytime, especially 2-0-3-1, 3-2.
It's a pitch, even if Donaldson is geared up for it, you have to take this because it's very much a pitcher's pitch, and there's nothing you can do with it, even if you do swing at it.
Out and around that one. Beckham. In case you're just tuning in, Beckham, the shortstop today. Alexi fouled one off his foot last night, and they're going to have x-rays made. So he is obviously not in the lineup. Bautista struck out. Also on a 3-2. This time a swing. Ate him up. Right underneath the hands.
Well, earlier I asked if Jeff Samardzija had a Twitter account, what would his first tweet be? And Jen Carabo 1 said, I even have a week named after me. It's Shark Week. That's on the Discovery Channel. And there's the shark, who's having quite a day here today.
He's been having quite a day every time he went out there lately.
What I like about him is he's changing speeds exceptionally well today.
Well, he's in a rhythm. First started off the season, was not in a rhythm. Spring training was not. He was getting under and around most of his sliders. Now he's getting some, last 7 or 8 times out, getting some depth, staying on top. Smoke fly deep to left field out of Goose Creek, South Carolina.
There you look at the last 5 starts. 4 of them quality starts. But his control has been almost letter perfect. He does have a walk here today. But he's getting everything over the plate.
That was towards the end of the bat. That didn't take long. 1, 2, 3. And we'll go to the bottom of the 4th.
Some fans to the ballpark on Wednesday, July 22nd. White Sox are offering specially priced tickets, a White Sox Illini hat, and the opportunity to watch batting practice before the gates open. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/Illini.
And talking about Sellers Market, we got a young right-hander down in Charlotte who's going to start the All-Star game down there. And he's got a whip of 1.16. 8's an ERA at 2.86, and he's leading the league in strikeouts. And that, of course, is Eric Johnson. So here's the top of our order.
And there's an example of what happens to catchers. This is a strike. It's on the outside corner, but it moves so much that Russell Martin, even in the strike zone, has a hard time corralling it. And that one just kind of boomeranged out of the glove.
Well, that was the only way we could ever score off Hoyt Wilhelm when he was with the White Sox. He'd come in relief, catcher would have a pass ball on a strikeout. Runner goes to first base, goes to second on a pass ball, goes to third on a pass ball, scores on a pass ball. That's the only way we could score off Hoyt. I know J.C. Martin, former Sox catcher, used to just hate. And Jerry McNerney hate to have to catch him. Watch out. Watch out. Made that catch look easy.
Yeah, Russell did that very casually. He got over toward the dugout, tracking the ball all the way. Really an excellent catcher. And he makes the catch. Gets a little help before tumbling into the dugout.
There's Abreu. Struck out. All right, Dickey, 3 strikeouts. Samar just struck out the side in the first, and he has 3 strikeouts. There you go. Right back through the middle. Somebody wants to welcome us to Twitter. Welcome to the dark side. Safety first, boys. Don't stop now. Watch you from Vegas stretch. Eddie's probably going, hey, I'll guarantee he'll come back a winner.
Imagine Eddie Olczyk in Las Vegas. I mean, what an upset that is.
I'll tell you, I guarantee he'll come back a winner. He is lucky.
Lucky and knows the horses pretty well.
I'll tell you, what do you get? A trifecta, Cornella? Trifecta, I think it was. For big bucks.
I think it was a pick 6.
That's even better.
Yeah, I think it was one of those.
And what a job he did during that. Eddie's one of the greatest analysts in any sport. Ball gets away. So Jose in the second.
It's probably going to be a wild pitch. I think that one hit in the dirt before Russell Martin. If it is a wild pitch, it's only going to be the 4th of the year. Yeah, actually, we'll see if they... Yeah, they're giving him a wild pitch. So it is the 4th of the year. And it puts Jose into scoring position. And now they change it to a pass ball.
There's a chopper 2 hopper.
R.A. Dickey back in 2012 climbed Mount Kilimanjaro along with the Mets bullpen catcher Dave Rassiniello and former teammate Kevin Slowey. That is not an easy task. Personally, I would have held out for K2. But I guess, Kilimanjaro's okay.
So here's LaRoche. He struck out his first trip. Yeah, Eddie Olczyk, he should go into moonlighting and handicapping horses for the public. Selling them, of course, to picks.
Of course.
That's a short little pop-up, and that'll retire the side. So we're into the 5th. No score.
post-game fireworks show presented by Athletico Physical Therapy. Athletico Physical Therapy, better for everybody. Purchase tickets today by visiting whitesox.com or calling 866-SOX-GAME.
Fifth inning, and there have been no runs scored. No runs, no hits, no errors for them. No runs, 2 hits, no errors for us. Russell Martin, he hit a ball back through the middle. Carlos Sanchez made just a stunning play. A jump throw to first base, got a lot on it, and a beautiful pick by LaRoche to get him. Two and 0 the count. Martin's had good success against Samardzija, 7 for 23.
Somewhat surprising. He got a fastball and he got it on the inner portion of the plate, and 2-0 he took it. I don't know really what he's looking for if you're not looking for that one.
Yeah, I think it may just been maybe a little underneath his hands, the shade, but still on 2-0. You know, that's not a big deal.
That one a good either cutter or slider. 9 miles an hour difference, and he threw it on the outside corner, and once again it froze Martin.
2-2. High, can of corn, diving.
You're looking at the White Sox Pulse page on csnchicago.com, where you can engage with hashtag social media and see your posts on our page.
And in case you're just tuning in, Steve and I have joined the Twitter Nation. And so far it's been fun. Navarro popped up to Adam Eaton in center field.
There you see how to get in touch with us, and we will answer questions throughout the game. And there have been some good ones, real good ones. In fact, we don't have as much time as we probably need to get through many of them, because there are a whole lot of good ones.
Well, this is a good ball game going on we got here, so we won't be able to get, but if we get games that 4 or 5 runs difference, we're going to be going through a lot of these things during the games. 2-1. We got 2 guys shutting them out through 4. Yes, he did. 2-2.
Good movement down and in, and Navarro thought he was going to go after it, then thought better of it, but he had gone too far.
Oh, nice. Change. Out in front. Good motion. 2 down. This is the finale of this 4-game set and the final game of the season between these 2 teams. In the first game, Chris Sale, Mark Burley on Monday, couldn't have asked for anything better. What an emotional game, exciting. We got 4 unearned runs off Burley and won that ball game 4-2. And Quintana pitched his behind off in game 2 and lost it 2-1. As Pilar popped up to Sanchez, Jeff hit him on the fist.
That last statement that you made about Jose Quintana, you could probably use that any time over the last 2.5 years, and the result would be the same.
He's one of the best left-handers in the game. One of the best pitchers in the game.
And he consistently comes up a little short on the offensive side.
Since 2012, leading everybody in baseball and no decisions. And if you do that over a period of time, you got to be a hell of a pitcher.
He is that. Jeff Samardzija is also on that list, by the way.
Yeah. All these scouts in attendance for this series are going to have plenty to write about in their notebooks about the White Sox pitching. Two and two.
Kansas City is winning 4-0. They're playing red-hot baseball, but they took a big loss, and Alex Gordon going to be lost to the team for at least 2 months with a severe groin strain. And with Detroit losing Cabrera and now Kansas City losing Gordon, the division looks like it's going to bunch up even more.
He gone. We are halfway home, scoreless. Look at her.
Probably wanting to know where the real good solid food is around the ballpark.
Look at her.
You can pretty much go to any concession stand and find it.
I'll guarantee you one thing. She knows more about what she's doing than I do on mine.
There's no doubt about that.
Here's Garcia. Ivy grounded out to Donaldson. Off the end of the bat. Oh, my goodness. As I mentioned, Smoke, a good first baseman. That's the second miscue he's had. And Ivy is on second base. That's what we talk about, getting your behind down, and because it brings your head down. Look at the angle. Look at the angle his head is. He's looking almost straight down at that ball. You can't. It's hard to catch it like that.
This is the second time in this series on a particular play that a Blue Jays infielder let a ball that didn't take a bad hop go right under his glove by not getting the glove down far enough. Jose Reyes was the other guy at shortstop, which opened the door for a big inning. That time it was Justin Smoke. And now a very difficult task, which is trying to intentionally pull a knuckleballer.
Here's Gillespie. He's got a job to do. I got a text on my phone saying, would you please finish what you were talking about in terms of hitters approaches to a knuckleball, to hitting a knuckleball. As that job is getting done by Gillespie. That's a good at bat. So now at the end of third. Well, most hitters, they will try to move up in the box toward the pitcher a little bit, so it didn't have that chance to get all the big break going for them. And some guys move off the plate. But I have talked to a lot of knuckleball pitchers, and the one thing they all have in common, they hate for guys to stand right on top of the plate against them. So now the Blue Jays with the infield in. Here's Soto. He had a single. He had our first hit leading off the third inning.
And Joe McEwing is telling Avi at third base, get a good secondary lead, come down the line with the pitch because the ball's been getting away from Martin.
That helps. Now, Soto's got to know that as a hitter. With a man on third, that chances are he might get a pretty good pitch to hit that's going to be above thigh high or right at it. Just because of that, the pass ball. That's a blue play special for a hitter against a knuckleballer with a man on third.
Well, especially when you have a catcher that doesn't catch him all that often.
Three and one. Big hack and a full count. And that's fouled. And that's ball four. So the first walk issued by R.A. Dickey. There comes Sanchez. He struck out his first trip. Here's where Carlos and his approach has got to be more of one of playing pepper, not big swings. Soto's approach is going to be a little different than Carlos's should be. In the short center field. So 2 down.
This ball was up and in to Carlos. He's trying to hit a sacrifice fly, just can't get enough into it. And Goins at shortstop is an excellent defender. He goes back, and the first thing he does is look at Avi, and Avi, realizing he's not going to be able to tag up on this, is hoping that he loses the ball in the sun, drops it, but he retreats to the bag.
So here's Beckham. Gordon hit into a 6-4-3 double play. Hit the ball hard.
Time now for the AT&T U-verse multi-view, and you're looking at the two base runners in the corners. And R.A. Dickey, who's trying to get out of his first jam of the day.
With Adam Eaton on deck.
Took a little something off that fastball, but threw it in a perfect spot. That was low and away.
There's that big swing on a fastball. Watch out.
Talking with some catchers who've had experience catching the knuckleballs, the obvious tendency of all catchers is to reach out and try to grab it because you know which way it's going to go. But that will get you interference more times than not. You have to actually absorb the baseball and move right with it. That's why you have the big glove.
Another foul ball, another fastball. Good rip at that one.
Good at bat for Gordon Beckham as he'll take a look at the 9th pitch of the at bat.
Well, we threaten, can't get it done. Michael Guzzi, 71. You guys see any signs of this team turning it around and possibly making a wild card push? Steve?
To me, there's one real factor that comes into play, and that is hitting the ball out of the ballpark. As it gets warmer at home and on the road, I think our guys will start to do that. But the facts are the facts. They're 16-24 in games where they don't hit a home run. This team is built to hit some home runs, maybe not lead the league, and they've got to start doing that because manufacturing runs isn't the team's long suit. So they start hitting the ball out of the ballpark with the pitching we've seen both from the bullpen and the starting rotation. I don't see any reason why in a bunched-up division and a league where nobody really is pulling away, why they can't at least make it interesting.
In my opinion, yes, I do see a possible way that this club can turn it around. I saw this 83 club start off 14-26. and they came back and won 99 games. Now, this club is not going to do that, but that club had a ton of chemistry. Our club has got to get some sort of a common bond. We've got the talent is there as they come back. So Carrera's retired, one down. We've got the talent to make a comeback, and one of the big reasons is what Steve just alluded to, the parity in the Central Division. Cabrera going down in Detroit. Gordon going down in Kansas City. There are going to be other injuries that occur in the last 3 months. But this club has the ability. They have the talent. If they catch the baseball better than we've caught it up until this point, we got a chance to go and be dangerous in September, and that's all you want. You want to be dangerous in September, where every pitch is meaningful, every out is meaningful, and every, obviously, game is meaningful. But you got to have some chemistry, and chemistry usually comes with a common bond, and they come about all the time. One of the examples, 2000, that fight we had with Detroit, that was the defining day of that season. From that point out, Jerry Manuel was the manager, and he didn't have to do anything except make out the lineup card, because the guys went out there, they had the chemistry, they had the common bond, and they played their butts off. Goins drew a walk. He was the first Blue Jay base runner. We've got a postseason starting staff. We've got a postseason bullpen. We've got a postseason outfield. Our hitting has been atrocious, and our defense has been close to atrocious. And there, you can cancel the post-game show. There's their first hit. Nice round of applause for Jeff Samardzija.
Took that no-hitter 5 1/3 innings before giving up the first hit to a man starting his first game of the series, and that's Ryan Goins. So for a left-hander, this is exactly where you want it. Low and in. Jeff has not made very many, if any, mistakes. Today, that was probably one of them.
Whiffs on it.
That's going to go as the second base hit. Connor Gillespie going over, trying to trap this one, but can't get to it. And on the deflection, a heads-up piece of base running by Goins as he scampers into third.
So here is the wrong man at the right time for the Blue Jays.
You can only wonder if Josh Donaldson has ever grounded into a double play. And actually, he's grounded into 8 of them.
He is 0 for 2 today. He has been the hot stick. Coming into this ball game, if you're just tuning in, he is 12 for 23 against us this year. And of the 12 hits, 3 of them were singles. 3 were doubles, 6 were home runs.
So those numbers with runners in scoring position. So Donaldson has done a whole lot for these Blue Jays this year.
Well, you got Arenado in the National League. You got Donaldson in the American League. Probably the 2 premier third basemen in the game. Close pitch. A good pitch even if he didn't get it. It was just inside.
Doesn't miss by much. Gio wants it inside. And Jeff gets it there. It's not quite in the zone.
So a big pitch. 1 out, runners at the corners, and a 1-1 count.
Travis has decent but not great speed.
All right, take your time, boys, and rack them up. Yes! Make it 9. We go to the bottom of the 6th, still no score.
White Sox take on the Royals. The first 20,000 fans, ages 21 and over, receive a 2005 World Series replica ring presented by Miller Lite. It's the original Light Pilsner, an official beer of our Chicago White Sox. Purchase tickets today by visiting whitesox.com/promos. Second last warm-up pitch just bounced off the shin guard of Russell Martin. And by his expression, he wasn't the happiest man in the ballpark when that happened. But unfortunately, if you are forced to catch a knuckleballer, that will happen.
Top of the order here in the bottom of the 6th. Adam Eaton. Adam is popped to third and fouled out to Russell Martin. Three and one.
Fly ball center field, well hit. Pilar on the run, he can't get to it. Adam Eaton on his way to third base. Here comes the throw. It's over the head of Donaldson, but R.A. Dickey wisely was in a perfect position. Otherwise, that goes into the dugout. And Adam Eaton scores. So it's a triple. And Eaton aboard in this scoreless game. Adam hits the daylights out of this one. It's not a knuckleball. He took something off his fastball, drilled it over the head of Pilar, and then was off to the races. This is why pitchers have to back up far enough so they're able to stop anything that gets by the third baseman. Eaton thinking 3 bases all the way.
Well, that's time capsule stuff there from R.A. Dickey as far as backing up.
For the moment, he saved a run.
First pitch strike to Abreu. Struck out his first trip, single up the middle his second trip. There's a strike in the count 0-2 with the infield in. Outfield straight up, spread out.
With runners in scoring position, there are very few guys around baseball with better numbers than Jose Abreu at a robust 350.
Got him.
An athlete is defined by the desire to be active and continue doing the things you love. Visit Athletico.com and start defining your pain-free inner athlete today. Athletico, the official physical therapy provider of the Chicago White Sox. Athletico, better for every body.
So here's Cabrera. He's grounded to second. And he's grounded to short. And the ball gets by. And it's 1-0 Sox.
And with a guy that does not catch a knuckleballer very much, you have to figure somewhere along the line this was going to happen. That one kind of surprisingly gets by Martin. He's handled some tougher ones than that, but this one slides away. It's going to be the second pass ball, and Adam Eaton's going to score easily, and then R.A. Dickey is going to give him just a little push. Hey, get off the plate.
Now, talking about hitting knuckleballers, here's Aaron Rowan, Sox fan favorite. All you real youngsters out there, he was a terrific. That ball hit deep. Way back. He looks up. You can't put it on the board. Yeah. A bullet out of here. It is 2-0. That's his second home run off R.A. Dickey.
Fourth home run of the year, RBI number 34. And R.A. Dickey now has given up 17 home runs. A Ford home run replay. This is what happens when a knuckleballer sees one of them stop fluttering and start to roll.
Well, that's what Aaron Rowan just texted me. He says, see it up, smoke it.
That's where it was, and that's what he did.
Aaron's philosophy starts below your belly button. Don't swing because it's a ball.
That's true. It's going to drop well out of the zone.
Everybody has their probably more philosophies about trying to hit a knuckleballer. And the irony of it is there's hardly any knuckleballers.
The last couple of errors there were. And now, very few.
And of course, with that home run by Cabrera, the Alex Nelius family, another contribution to White Sox charities in loving memory of Ursula. We haven't been able to say that very often this year. As he's gone, 2 down. Can't get it. Two 4-0 for us, 0-2-1 for them. Ivy grounded to Donaldson and reached on an error by Smoke. That is slicing. Bautista, watch out. He made a terrific catch the other night, timing it perfectly to his slide into the wall. Just did get a piece of it. That's a fair ball. Donaldson will move that gun he's got. Makes that play look easy, but we come up with a pair. Leadoff triple, the pass ball, the homer by Cabrera. It is 2-0 good guy.
In one place, and this year it's in Cincinnati. Don't miss the 86th All-Star Game. Coverage begins at 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, Tuesday, July 14th on Fox. And before the game, Chris Sale was presented with his All-Star jersey, number 49, and then he called over a young lady and gave it to her. Something certainly she's never going to forget. Now she's got a wonderful nightshirt.
That does not surprise me coming from Chris Sale or a Mark Burley. As here's Bautista and the 1-0 pitch. Watch out.
Chris Sale has just made, he's got many fans. He's just made one fan for life. That young lady will remember this day forever.
Well, one thing about it, he's only been in the league 4 years, and he's got 4 of them. He's going to get a lot more.
It's pretty amazing. He's going to get a lot more. He's going to throw multiple no-hitters, I do believe.
There's a strike. Don't walk him. Come back and get him.
I also believe that the frightening thing for all the hitters around baseball is that Chris Sale is actually getting better with each and every year.
Make a good throw. All right.
Now time for you to tweet your strongest fan photo. Use hashtag Chicago Data Strong Fan and you just might see yourself on an upcoming broadcast. Brought to you by T-Mobile.
Here's Smokey's going out deep to left, and he's grounded to short. They got a shift going for him. Two 4-0 for us, 0-2-1 for them here in the top of the 7th inning and the finale of this 4-game set. And starting tomorrow, 3 games, 3-day games from Wrigley. That's just fisted out to right field. 2 out.
One of the biggest problems for this Toronto team has been the defense, and they knew about it last year. Last year, Fangraphs' ultimate zone rating was -6.8 for Toronto. That was the lowest in the AL East. That doesn't help your pitching staff very much, and they thought they might have addressed some of it. But this year, you talk to everybody associated with this Toronto team, and they'll tell you that they've got to improve their defense if they're going to make a bona fide run at it.
I was talking with some Toronto people before Game 1, and I told them, I said, from what I can see, the only thing that'll keep you guys from not being there is you don't catch the ball. You got to. They have what you would call a mediocre pitching staff, and when you got a mediocre pitching staff and you don't catch the ball, I don't care. You can't hit enough. No, you cannot hit enough in the major leagues. Now, if you got a mediocre pitching staff and you catch the ball, you can hit enough. Russell Martin to ball hard first time. Sanchez made a terrific play on it. And watch this play. Ball up the middle. You can just see him at the height of his jump, getting more, reach back a little more to get on the throw. And a nice pick by LaRoche. So there's a full count.
Jeff this year has had some problems in the first inning, but as if to punctuate that those days are behind him, he not only went 1-2-3 in the first, but he struck out the side in the first, Travis Donaldson and Bautista.
Out and around it, and that's foul.
Pretty impressive numbers to this point. And for the 7th straight game, it appears that Jeff is going to go at least 7 and possibly deeper into this one. He's only got 84 pitches so far, which is a minimum for him.
Good job by Martin. That's a B pitch right there. Once again, the payoff. He just ripped that one right back through the middle.
Well, Jeff tried to go a little something extra on that fastball. Threw it at 95, put it on the outside part of the plate, and Russell Martin went out and got a whole lot of that one. Fortunately, did not get it up higher.
Here's Navarro. He's popped up to center and he's grounded softly to second. Good rip at that one. He got it. He's upset with himself. Kevin Pillar on deck. That's high as a can of corn. And that'll retire the side. 7th inning stretch. We lead it 2-0. At Wrigley as the Sox and Cubs battle for early bragging rights. And our coverage starts tomorrow at 2 right here on Comcast Sportsnet.
It's Sox social time, and Kurt Bandera, well, he says nothing beats a sunny day at the ballpark. And he's right about that. It's absolutely beautiful. 70 degrees. Sox are on top 2-0. And you can't beat it. A lot of folks around, a lot of kids in the stands. And thanks for watching and participating today.
Gillespie, Soto, and Sanchez. Gillespie has grounded to first and grounded to second. R.A. Dickey has pitched well, especially coming in with a road record like he had.
With a road record and a history against the Sox with an ERA up close to 9. It's been anything but that today.
A little soft comebacker.
And there is the young lady that Chris Sale gave his American League All-Star jersey to. But it is a little warm today. She's going to make sure that she takes that one home and protects it.
There's the strike. Soto had our first hit leading off the 3rd inning. Then he walked in the 5th. Two and one. He walks him again. Chris Sanchez. struck out, and he popped up to short. Well, to all the Twitters out there, I've had fun today. We're going to be doing this every day. But don't expect me, if we beat ourselves in a ball game, to be nice.
And there is how you get in touch with Hawk and I. At Hawk Harrelson, at Steve Stone. We'll do our best to try to answer as many as we possibly can.
There's a strike and a count, 2-1. Yeah, as long as we win, everything's going to be hunky-dory.
Makes for a much easier day.
Maybe the tweeters out there, the common bond this club's got to have.
Tomorrow we'll go to Wrigley Field across town. 3-game series. Carlos Rodon and Kyle Hendricks on Friday. Chris Sale and John Lester on Saturday. Jose Quintana and Jake Arrieta on Sunday. A big 3-game series against the Cubs.
With some good pitching matchups in there. High pop-up into center field. Pilar.
And here are the probables and the records. Hendricks has been pitching well lately. John Lester getting better with each outing. Jake Arrieta has been terrific all year. And, of course, Carlos Rodon has been very good this year, and this his rookie season. Chris Sale has been magnificent, as has Jose Quintana. Should be a great series. Should be a wonderful weekend.
There was a fastball strike to Beckham. Gordon 0 for 2. Yanks that one foul. So 2 out, 1 and 2 the count at a meeting on deck.
Ryan Tepera, who has been up in this series, but we haven't seen him yet, loosening into pen.
That ball into right center field. Bautista. All right, we'll go to the 8th. It is a 2-0 White Sox lead. 20. What do you think would be the one piece the Sox could possibly get that could put them over the top as far as being in September?
Well, I think the acquisition of Mike Trout would be a big one if they could do that. But yeah, I mean, if you're looking for a bat, that's one thing. I'm not sure exactly the decision has been made in the front office exactly what to do at the trade deadline. I think they reserve the right to be able to make any kind of trade, one of either unloading somebody, or on the other side of the coin, if things start getting better, then you make a trade and bring somebody in that can get you over the top. But right now, I think it's uncertain of which way the organization is going to go.
Here's Pilar. And that's right back underneath C. Yeah, if we could pick up a bat, that just might do it, because his Southsider 20 knows, and all our tweeters out there know who are Sox fans, we have not done a good job as far as knocking in guys from third base with less than 2 out. We have not done a good job offensively getting guys from second with nobody out over to third, getting them in. We have not done a good job with men on first and third, nobody outscoring, men on bases loaded, nobody outscoring. So a bat, yeah, Southsider 20, that would be, in my opinion. Add to Trout, though, Bryce Harper as well. Both of them.
Exactly right. That would probably put the club over the top. But when you look at the teams that are sitting there and you know they're going to be sellers.
That's into right field.
A bat that's consequential is going to cost you a bundle. And then you take a look at what the Sox have in the trade market. And most teams will tell you the same thing at this point. They'd love to make a deal. They just don't want to break up what they consider to be part of the foundation of their future. And so with that in mind, it becomes more difficult to get that definitive run producer that a lot of teams are looking for. Most of the teams, however, will be looking for pitching. And that's one of the things the Sox have some of.
Adam is there for Guerrero.
Webb and Duke loosening up in the pen.
We could possibly be dangerous in September right now, status quo, as is, if we catch the ball. We can't. Our offense has not been good enough to overcome the errors and unearned runs that we have allowed. It's not been so much the errors number-wise. It's the errors, the mental errors, some of the base running. Plays are not being made. If we can correct just the fundamentals, the baseball 101 the rest of the way, we can possibly be dangerous in September. Look at the play by Beckham. And the pick by LaRoche. That's what I'm talking about. That's the ball. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It is 2-0. Mercy.
And it is Ryan Tepera on for the 15th time. He doesn't have a record. He does have a 2.35 ERA. Very good control. Left-handers haven't done anything with him. Right-handers haven't done all that much better. And he inherits a 2-run deficit here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Top of the order for us. Adam Eaton, Abreu, and Cabrera. All right, Dickey pitched well. 7 innings, 2 runs, 4 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts.
All things considered, this is about the best R.A. Dickey has thrown against our ball club, if not ever. It's right up near the top. He had very good stuff today.
Yeah, got him right, he did.
And good control.
Well, he's going to be one of the big keys for the Blue Jays in August and September, and the rest of this month, of course, since it's only July 9th. If he can pitch anywhere near like he did today, they're going to be in pretty good shape.
Normally he gets a whole lot of runs from his offense, but Jeff Samardzija has been brilliant today, again.
Well, he's been back. Once he started staying on top of that slider.
He served notice in the first inning that his stuff today was going to be awfully good, and he maintained that stuff throughout 8 innings. Tepera selected by the Blue Jays in the 19th round in 2009 out of Sam Houston University. He's a product of their organization, and they got him down in the draft.
Once again, the 3-2.
Here's our Xfinity high-speed action replay, and it's the defensive heroics of Gordon Beckham, and on the other end, Adam LaRoche. Throws in the dirt, he picks it clean, and Jeff Samardzija is absolutely ecstatic, as you would expect. And Gordon Beckham taking a thank you very much approach to that particular play.
Abreu's 1 for 3.
Gordon got to start at shortstop today, and it doesn't matter where Robin puts him. He shows you just an outstanding glove.
Well, nothing can take you up quicker as a ball club than good defense, with pitching being the first line of defense. But nothing can take you up better. Nothing can bring you down quicker than bad defense.
We had a look at Dan Jennings out in the bullpen.
There have been an awful lot of clubs go to postseason play in my lifetime that were not good hitting ball clubs, but they caught it and they had good pitching. Two runs, 4 hits, no errors for our guys. No runs, 3 hits, 1 error for their guys. And there's another base hit. Right back through the middle. Come on, guys, let's pick up another point or two.
Slug your way to the Home Run Derby crown and master the free award-winning game millions are playing. Action-packed, insanely fun, and play in great American ballpark. Home of the 2015 All-Star Game with 2015 Home Run Derby participants. Download MLB.com Home Run Derby free on the App Store and Google Play. Download MLB.com Home Run Derby free on the App Store and Google Play.
Here's Melky. He's 1 for 3. Hit that ball hard down past Debo, Darryl Boston. Melky hit a line shot out of here in the 6th inning for his 4th homer against his former mates. $23,298. Good block by Russell Martin. One pitch. Next, another one foul. For the Blue Jays in their half of the 9th inning, it'll be the top of the order. Travis, Donaldson, and Bautista. That's fair. 2 down. Pick him up, Adam. LaRoche is 0 for 3. But he has made 3 good picks at first base. Watch out. Ball gets by. That's a wild pitch. So Abreu into 3rd.
Hasn't been the easiest day around for Russell Martin. First of all, he had to catch a knuckleballer, picked up a couple of pass balls, and now a conventional pitcher throws one by him. This is a wild pitch, however.
Well, they're going to board their charter, head on down to Kansas City after the game, and I think Russell's going to sleep well tonight.
They're going to be facing a very hot Kansas City ball club.
They got the shift on for Adam.
Royals came into today winners of 4 in a row, and they're on top 7-3 in this afternoon's contest in the bottom of the 6th inning. So they're making life difficult for the Tampa Bay Rays. Tampa's lost 3 in a row and 9 of their last 10.
One and 2 the count. Ivy Garcia on deck. That's into center field. Pilar makes the catch. We have finished 8, and we lead it 2-0.
And here's our Miller moments, and it was the scoring in the 6th inning. First, the wild pitch. That's actually a pass ball, and I think he shoves at him, eaten out of the way. And then he rolls one on the inner portion to Melky. Melky, it's his 4th home run of the year, driving in his 34th against his former teammates. And that's a 2-0 lead, and that's where we stand heading into the top of the 9th inning.
And they have the top of the order. Here's Devon Travis. Takes first pitch strike. Travis has struck out, popped the second, and had an infield single. Outfield slightly to the right. Gillespie even with the bag and off the line at third. There's a base hit.
And that's going to start David Robertson to work. There's a look at David.
And here's Donaldson. Man on first and third back in the 6th inning in a big spot. Jeff got Donaldson to hit into a 6-4-3 double play.
That fastball was up and on the inner portion of the plate.
This guy can hit a high fastball.
He's shown us he can hit it to all fields.
But if you throw it underneath his hands in this up, he's not going to do much with it.
He's going to get a slider here.
That misses. Count evens at 1. He's actually one of the better high fastball hitters in this league. Nice pick, stop, I should say, by Chio. Well, you got 2 of the best fastball hitters in the league and 2 of the smallest guys. Altuve, Pedroia.
Both hit high fastballs real well.
Well, they got to. Everything is high to them.
Pitch number 101 on the way. Yeah, well, they hit too low, but they hit real well.
Checks it up. And a count 3-1 with Bautista on deck. Come on, guys. Everything is self-induced. Let's clear it out. Let the mind, let's clear it out and get it done. Okay, right to the bag. Yes! Beautiful, beautiful turn by Becker. Mercy.
Last 2 at-bats, 2 double plays grounded into by Donaldson. And a sigh of relief from the Sox team. Big effort by Gordon, who takes it in a very unconventional way, but he had no choice. He stayed in long enough to get the throw off. He doesn't care if he takes contact. He just knows his job is get the throw off. And he takes some contact from Travis, and he stood right there.
There's Bautista. Well, you framed it perfectly. He knew he might get knocked into left field, and he stayed right there.
He did that. And now we got a guy who's hit 204 home runs. Over the last 5.5 years, that's more than anybody in the major leagues. But fortunately, he comes to bat with nobody on base.
Outfield straight up. And the count 0-2. That one at 97 here in the top of the 9th inning.
No reason not to empty out the tank right here.
Takes some off the slider. Rush right underneath his hands. 1-2. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Justin Smoke on deck. Another one at 97. Payoff pitch. Oh, yeah! This ball game is over! Jeff Samardzija.
And what a job he did today, getting congratulations from his teammates. He just went out and shut down an exceptional hitting baseball team. Samardzija was in control from the first hitter to the last hitter. Jeff Samardzija, our player of the game, 9 innings on 4 hits with no runs. He walked only 1, fanning 5, the 5th being Jose Bautista. This performance was just exceptional, and he started with the first pitch he threw and went till the last pitch he threw. He gets